guys, it's Julian, and today I am going to be doing something a bit different. I'm going to be making a techno drop from scratch using Evolution of Sound Zenworld, as you may know him on here. I'm going to be using his new preset pack for Serum, and yeah, we're going to be making a techno drop using it. So he sent it over. It's a really cool pack. I've got the link in the description. I really like this one. You know, the cool thing about preset packs is like it's not even so much about getting sounds that you don't know how to make on your own, or maybe like just trying to, I guess, you know, take the easy way out, quote unquote, as some people say. But when you use presets and when you go, you know, when you're scrolling through preset packs and stuff, you come up with so many ideas that you wouldn't normally have. Like, you know, right here, for example, I have this little MIDI clip set up, and I'm going to be going through presets, and it's like you just hear sounds that you wouldn't have thought to make on your own. So it lends itself to some really cool, happy accidents. And that's kind of what I'm going to be going for today. So yeah, like I said, the pack is in the description. Make sure to check it out. Really solid. I think you guys will like it if you like all my techno stuff. And let's get started. So this is what I have just to start off with. I just have this little kick that I made. You can see, yeah, just simple kick. And then I have this little mini clip with this blank Serum here. I've got a little bit of LFO tool on there. And yeah, so I'm going to start by finding a sound for this. So let's go to this Evolution of Sound Paradox. And let's start here. So like I said, just going to scroll through some presets and kind of see what sounds good. That sounds pretty cool. I'm going to do some stuff with this. Like, we'll put some EQ on there, just kind of clean up the low end a little bit. We still want to keep, like, the fatness in there. And I think I'm going to chill out with this reverb as well. This is something I do pretty frequently. Like, if you do use a preset, you know, like, just take the sound from the preset and then kind of do your own reverb. I'm going to get some stuff. I usually just use Ableton stuff in these videos to make it so, you know, everybody can follow along. But today, since I'm using Serum, I'm going to use some plugins. This is Valhalla Room. I really like using this reverb. It's really, really, it sounds amazing. Alright, that's good. And I'm going to put some echo on there as well. I like to use Guitar Rig a lot. It's a little bit unorthodox for techno, but it's a really, really good thing. It's got so many cool sounds in here, and like it just has so much character, and that's what I really like effects where it's not just about like, you know, having a solid delay or whatever, but it's like this tape echo, for example, it just has so much character to it. And I use this all the time. So let's take this. That sounds cool. A little bit of mixing. And then let's do one more thing here. I'm going to put a bit of drum bus on this. I usually put this after the delay and the reverb. Just kind of fatten it up a little bit. Alright, sounds good. I'm going to work on this kick a little bit as well. We can just kind of put a little bit of some saturation on there going into that. Yeah, there we go. Alright, cool. So let's get some quick like hi-hats in here. I'm gonna just take something from one of my videos. Use this one. Oops. Alright, nice. I wasn't sure if that would work with this. Cool, and then we'll put in a little hi-hat on the upbeats. Let's use this one. Cool, and then we'll group those together. fat. Cool, so let's add some more stuff to this. I want to have kind of like another synth here. What key are we in? We're in G minor. All right, so I want to make something that is like a little bit less like high pitched, like maybe something kind of not so much in the lawn. Like obviously we don't want a bass with the rumble kick, but just something maybe like in the mid range. So let's kind of see what's going on in here. And we could let's use one of these acid, like, 303 sounds. Yeah, let's do that. That's cool. Nice. And then I'm going to copy this LFO tool onto here, and let's copy this EQ8 as well. You know, this can really save time. Like, if you're using the same effects on multiple things, which in this case, like, LFO tool and EQ, probably something you're going to put on a lot of different things, you can just copy those over and then just kind of change the settings. It's a nice way to, like, do things quicker. That is something that definitely improved my workflow. Cool, let's put some drum bus on that to kind of fatten it up a little bit. Cool, and then we'll automate the filter, so it's just kind of like moving a little bit here. Like we'll have it kind of, you know, nothing too crazy. Like we don't want it to be super, super open and then close or anything like that. But we're just gonna give it, you know, some subtle movement just to make it kind of feel more alive like that. Alright, sounds good. Let's add another thing here. I'm going to make like a droning kind of pad. So we're going to get another Serum here, and let's try some of these pads. We got to use something other than leads. Alright, let's pull up maybe this one. I was playing with some of these earlier. The pads in this pack are very nice. Try that one. And I'll put that up an octave, and then we'll put down the little A underneath that. And there we go. We get that like super dark kind of sound. Cool. So let's copy the LFO tool and the EQ8 onto there. Really good like ear candy kind of layer. Well, I'm gonna play around with adding a little bit of boom to this kick on the drum bus. If you're having a hard time getting the bass out of your techno kick, which sometimes I have a hard time with this, like if you listen, this has a lot of nice kind of like low mid range, and like the top of the low end is pretty good. So you can see in this range, but it doesn't really have a lot of sub frequencies. The boom on drum bus can really help with that. So if we just tune that, it's already tuned to G actually. We can just, and there you go. It just gives it kind of like some more low end. Dial that back a little. Cool. All right, let's add a little bit of like an ARP or something, because I feel like having an ARP that's playing kind of like in the high end, like we don't really have anything that's super, super bright like that. I feel like that could help, and then I'll go through and do a little bit more tweaking to these sounds. Let's try some of these plucks. maybe this one. This one has a very cool texture to it. Let's do this. Playing off of like what the that synth I started with is doing, because if you look at this, this is starting like right. I guess we can maybe do like this. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so you can hear like having that just kind of play like right before that. Like it's not clashing with it. I guess we can just do this. But it's not clashing with it because it cuts out right as the other synth is playing. So this is the kind of stuff like if you're trying to make techno, I think a big thing about techno is like knowing how to make sounds kind of work on their own and knowing how to like focus on one sound at a time. This is the kind of stuff you need to do. Like when you have a cool idea for an ARP or something like this, just try to make it fit with the other things as opposed to just having it go like constantly in the background like I was doing a second ago. Maybe we'll make that one. So here, we can do this. This one ends on the D sharp, and then this one ends on D. So here, let's check this out. Perfect. It's like some nice kind of switch up there. Cool. So let's copy LFO tool and the EQ8 onto this one. This one we can probably high pass quite a bit. This is really just in there for the high end. Cool, sounds pretty good. So let's do a little bit more work to like this pad here. We can do like open up the cutoff a little bit. The filter. Give it some chorus. There we go. I really like how crazy the detune is on that. And let's put a little bit more reverb on it as well. I'm going to use another Valhalla room here. Well, that sounds pretty good. And then let's work on this sound. This sound isn't going to be like fat, but I do want to give it a little bit more like kind of texture. And I guess kind of beef it up a little bit. I'm going to put this Aphex Vintage Exciter on here. It's this thing from Waves that I use a lot to like fatten up synths. Like let's take... You can kind of hear what it's doing here. I usually put it on this mix 2 setting. Like here's without it. You can hear like it's not necessarily fattening it up like the way I was trying to like make the kick fat or the way I was trying to make like this lead really fat. But it's just adding like a little bit more kind of power to it, I guess. Cool, and then with this one I'm also going to just get rid of the reverb in the preset. It's not that it's like bad, but sometimes you got to just do this because it's like, you know, the reverb and the delay inside of the preset were set to sound good inside of that preset. They weren't made to sound good like in exactly your track, you know. So sometimes you have to kind of work with it. And let's add a bit of delay to this. We're gonna get back with that tape echo. I like how you can set these two heads to different settings, and then you get this really wide stereo delay. Cool, let's put that through a little bit of reverb as well. I like to put all this before the Aphex Vintage Exciter because it just like, yeah, you want to give your reverb and your delay that same character that you're trying to give to the synth. There we go, that just gives us something in the high end. Cool, well this is sounding pretty good. Let's just listen to this from start to finish real quick. Awesome. Well, that sounds pretty cool. I am actually very pleased with what I came up with here. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, check out the new sound bank in the description. It's right at the top. It's a really solid one. You heard some of the sounds here. If you like what you hear, you can check it out in the description. Shout out to Zen World, Evolution of Sound. Love you, bro. And yeah, peace, guys. I will see you again tomorrow with another video.